We are live.
Good morning, folks. Welcome back to February. Oh my gosh, 23rd. How many more days before Christmas? Sorry. Shock and awe, right? Sorry, guys. It's February 23rd, Monday, and welcome to the Phoenix Business Exchange. And you know what? We're going to share I'm going to share a view of our website. And the idea behind that is so you can see what's going on, both for the membership as well as folks looking from the outside in. And if you want to join us, you're more than welcome to come on in. And you're more than welcome to come on in. And member of the week is Patricia Ramirez. Patricia sells Maluka products. Yeah, click this little red button here. You'll get Patricia's e-card. If you're a member of Phoenix, everybody gets an e-card. And that makes it easy and quick so you can find us or find the person that you're seeking, either through email, phone number, whatever route they have. And they also have little videos attached to these cards. And in fact, you want to hear Patricia speak, click right into this space here. Now, to fall into the trap of coming into the Phoenix meeting, click the red button here. Just take the red pill. Let's go on that journey. And every Monday, 8 to 9 Eastern, and then Wednesday, 8 to 9 Eastern, and Thursday, 8 to 9 Eastern, we meet. There's a couple of exceptions to that, and I'll get into that ever so shortly. Well, look at that. Tomorrow, Tuesday, February 24th, after 7 p.m., we have an after hours group, and that's for goal setting and helping you staying on target. Penny Lee hosts that group. Upcoming member events are click right here. So if anybody's got something on the go, much like Jacqueline had a speaking engagement a week ago, it'd be in there. Canada Growth Network, we're meeting it today at 1 p.m., free to attend. And the guest speaker is Trevor Gibbs, and he's going to talk about website accessibility. So it's one thing to have your website findable by people. It's quite another to have them being able, if they have a disability, being able to see your website. Then we have East Trade Winds, and that is tomorrow. And the name of the person speaking totally escapes me right now, but I will post it later on in the chat. East End. So this is the exception to the meetings for this week. This Wednesday, February 25th, 7:30 a.m. at Hive. So come on into the at Hive. Something that Josh can just, do a quick drive down down from near the Seaway. Come on, rolling in. I'm joking, Josh. Up to you, unless of course your screen's frozen. Not, you're not. You're just sitting there very, very still. That's awesome. Um, so we are meeting at Hive at 1745 Courtwood, and then on Thursday we're also meeting in person at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Now both these meetings will be on Zoom as well as in person. So River Lounge for that one. QR directory for all members. Uh, how's business been going? Well, e-card client connections 99 is year to date, so that's from January. We've done over close to almost $5 million worth of business over the last decade here at Phoenix, doing it's just referrals between members, and over $5,600 in referrals between members year to date, so from January on. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, you want to join, reach out to myself, Tony, or Penny Lee. I'm going to stop the share. And so just to give you Sam's going to start off with an educational minute. And today's guest is Mastermind. So we're going to do a little Mastermind. Details will follow once we've done the full circuit of, hey, what's going on? But first, Sam, Dashing Sam.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Stores Connected Cars. Today I want to talk about, well, something that may occur when you're driving your vehicle. You turn it on and you might get a warning light or so on your vehicle, especially when at this time of year when things are quite cold. I had a vehicle in last week and I did a brake job on it. And at the end of it, I went to drive the car out of the garage and the parking brake light came on. And I went, what the heck? Why the parking light coming on? So I drove around the block, didn't go off. I called the customer, said, well, I did your brake job, but the parking light for some reason came on and it won't engage the parking brake. And the customer said, well, that happens all the time when it's cold. So I thought, what the heck? Well, I noticed that there had been somebody in working on a connector on the car, had some electrical tape on it. And I thought, well, this might be the area where it could be. And sure enough, somebody had worked on the car and had connected it back on and pushed it in where it should belong and hadn't pushed it all the way in. And I guess used the electrical tape to do the job. This time of year, when things get cold, physics tells us that things tend to shrink. And what happens when things shrink is they separate. And electrical wires are no different. And if the connector is not properly set, and when things get cold, they will separate and disengage. And sure enough, you'll get a warning light on your vehicle. So if you get something like that on your car, don't be surprised if you just take it to someplace warm, put it in the garage or put it in someone else's garage where it's warm, that those lights go off. So that's a little advice for you today. Cold weather can cause warning to come on in your vehicle.
Sam, thank you so much. Cold weather equates shrinkage. Got it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that alone. So, LinkedIn Live, we are there, and that is the link. So post your contact details in that space. We'll kind of do a circuit round robin. I'm going to start off with Carol Lee, and then go to Josh. Carol Lee, over to you. What's been happening? Any referrals, BAMs, or other than just having some good time away from business? Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm sure everyone feels the same today that we all felt yesterday after that disappointing loss, but proud to be Canadian and proud of Team Canada for how well they did in the Olympics. So we're going to have a great week. With that being said, we're busy here at the Canada Food Cupboard as always. We're having another busy month with a number of families that are reaching out, needing assistance. We have our first client event of 2026 today. It's our pop-up thrift event. So we've got lots of volunteers over at the site where the event is taking place. We have these type of events off-site, meaning we don't actually have them here at our location at the Canada Food Cupboard because we don't have the physical space. So we often partner with different churches or different, other facilities in Canada. And this event's taking place at St. Paul's Anglican Church. We use the hall upstairs in the church. So we've got our pop-up thrift taking place all afternoon, and we've got about 30 volunteers starting at 9 o'clock, getting everything set up. So again, another great event's going to happen today to give families all these extra things that they need to support them. And we're so fortunate to have a great community response with donations, volunteers helping set up. So we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do without our community. And that's an extension to everybody here as well. Thank you for spreading the word of not just our program here at the Canada Food Cupboard, but spreading the word of your local food banks throughout the city of Ottawa. We all support each other, and we're so grateful to have the support of our Phoenix Business Exchange community. So thank you for that. That's it for us at the Canada Food Cupboard.
Fairly, thank you so much. Next quick promo is for tomorrow at East Tradewinds. It's actually Marjorie Turner Holman. She helps people do practical storytelling and write their book, and where it involves being mobility is an issue. Josh, and then Jacqueline. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey guys, it's Josh Lamb from Sterling Grace Tech here. We're your one-stop shop for your IT needs in Eastern Ontario and throughout Canada, really. I wanted to share a story. So last week, a new customer was confirmed as being wanting to come on board. And interestingly, and kind of completely unrelated, that same night, they called in a panic, one of my guys, because their email had stopped working and they couldn't get a hold of their incumbent managed service provider on the phone. So this is the company that they're leaving to come to us, and they're not answering their after hours phones. What ended up happening is one of the owners of the company had taken on himself to arrange the hosting and had one of his friends taking care of that. And that friend decided to outsource their DNS. Bernie, you remember DNS.
Yes. No.
Yeah, it's a nuclear bomb waiting to take out your email. And so they moved and they broke everything. And DNS controls whether your website is visible online, whether your email delivers online. And so slowly the website went offline. And so we, even though we're not even their incumbent MSP yet, managed to walk them through troubleshooting and identifying exactly what the problem was. And they were able to get in touch with the right people because we told them who the right people were. And we don't even have passwords yet. So we're just kind of driving in the dark. And they were able to fix their email by 9 a.m. the next morning. And they didn't even hear back from their incumbent MSP until later the afternoon. So I think that they are very happy with the decision that they've made. And if you're in a desperate need because something has gone catastrophically wrong with your IT, or if you just need help with regular little things like my computer's not turning on today, or this Excel sheet's not doing what I think it should be doing, then you can give us a call for any of that kind of thing. And we will help you because we know IT and we know how to make IT work for you and get out of your way so you can get back to doing what you do best. I'm Josh Lamb. Sterling Grace Tech is the company. Call me if you want your tech to not suck. Have a good day.
And by the way, DNS is not a fun toy to play with. I guarantee you, it's not fast in its updates. Critical, but not fast. And who will we swing over to? I think I said Jacqueline. And I'm just going to share some quick information before I swing over to Jacqueline there. It's about the Canada Growth Network, and it's about today at 1, and it's about web accessibility to the website. Details are in the chat. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Groovy. And you know, it was a beautiful Sunday when I took a long, deep breath and I lifted my shoulders. I took them back and realized as I dropped them down, I'm so excited to be heading out to, it is called the Leading Ladies Canada Conference, and it's all about celebrating Black history. And I haven't spoken a whole lot about that because we haven't been here often, but February is the month for Black history. And I want to tell a quick story about entrepreneurs and wealth building against the odds. And if you're looking at your bills and you happen to see your $10 bill, think about this. An early business owner named Viola Desmond, who built a successful a beauty school and products in Nova Scotia in the 1930s. In the 1930s, to today's Black Canadian millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, there's always a tool. There needs to be a tool for freedom, for dignity, for a community power. And that's exactly what happened. Black founders in Canada have created companies, both in real estate and technology, financial services, and retail, often without equal access to capital, often networks and mainstream recognition. Yet, you know, we take those long, deep breaths and we understand that we need to continue to launch. We need to job create. We need to invest back in our communities. We're not just talking about money. I got to tell you, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about honoring resilience, innovation, honoring the belief that in our communities, not just Black communities, but I'm going to speak to that today, that our communities deserve ownership and opportunity, and we look at long-term prosperity. And so I sit here and talk to you from that financial space. But even though I am a mortgage agent, I am a yogini, and I ask you to take a long, deep breath. When you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, you need to want to contact your mortgage honey. Thank you. And I had a great meeting, I have to say, with Kelly last week. It was amazing to hear more about who she is, what she does in the real estate community.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Did I say Eric was up next? I think I meant to say Eric was up next. And just before we get into Eric, just a reminder, use Cat Herd Services to help promote your business in the Phoenix Business Exchange social media network. So reach out to her and coordinate from there. Eric, over to you, and then we will swing over to Sam. Go ahead, Eric.
Good morning. Eric Sonego of CA Pros. Today I'm going to talk about the benefits that can accrue to someone who's self-employed or people who own their own corporations. Sometimes you have to take time off to have a baby, be with a sick parent. have a sick kid in a dangerous disease in the hospital, all of that kind of stuff. And if you're self-employed or you own your own corporation, you might think that there is nothing that the society can do for you. And one of the quiet things that we have is that if you use the unemployment insurance program and you've made more than $9,625 or $9,254, the past year in salary or net income or whatever, if you do that and you register with them, you can get unemployment insurance to cover you during the period that you are away from your business, provided you've had a 40% decrease in business. So since my clients don't know about this, I can assume that you guys don't know about it either. So I decided to mention it. 613-254-7310. Everything else is in the chat box.
Eric, thank you so much. Any referrals, BAMs, activity like that?
I did some work for some Phoenix people that I'll tell Tony about. I did not do BAMs because I am busy, and I only see people that come to see me. Rather than me go to see people. But after April 30th, I will go more often to see people.
Sounds like tax season. Who knew? The next quick prompt is Mike Wazowski. If you need someone to cover you while you are away and you need someone to kind of be your doppelganger, at least vocally, well, even then, not quite. I don't know if he does feminine voice impressions, but Mike will come in and do your presentation. And Sam, and then we will go to Norm. Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you, Bernie. Again, Sam Sturs Connected Cars. There's my contact information in the chat. You guys know what I do, dash cameras and small repairs for cars. But I want to talk not about cars today. Actually, I want to talk about the Olympics. Because if you watched it, you noticed that Norway won the most medals, a country of only 5.5 million people, basically the size of Greater Toronto. And Canada finished 11th, as far as I saw it. But what was interesting to me was one of the announcers that I was watching said that the United States, who can finish second, that 70% of the kids who play sports stop playing sports by the time they turn 14 years old. I thought that was quite interesting. And he blamed it mostly on pressure that people put on their kids and the pressure to play sports and to win. So I thought, well, that's, maybe United States, the parents are kind of nasty, they want the kids to win, right from their time when they're little. And I thought, what the heck, I'll look up the statistic on Canada. Interesting enough, 70% of kids stop playing sports in Canada by the time they turn 14 years old. Same statistic. And the gentleman talked about was that in Norway, they don't start counting scores when the kids are playing until they turn 13 years old. Isn't that interesting? We were already counting by the time the kids turned 5. So anyway, food for thought. If you have young people in your family, I know myself, I still play sports. My kids still play sports. But if you have young ones like I know our friend Terry does, you just might want to consider those statistics. Maybe not put so much pressure on your kids. Not that Terry does, but maybe just be there and encourage them to play sports because I know myself, I'm 68 years old and my friend Eric is probably close to my same age and we still play. So you might want to consider those things down the road for your kids to enjoy sports for most of their life, if not all of their life. That's it for me. Sam Sturs ConnectedCars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and a lot more.
Sam, thank you so much. Next quick promo is something from Cyberhoot. It's about training and how not to click on things you shouldn't click on that come across online, free to for personal use. Norm, and welcome back, Terry. We'll do Terry right after Norm. Norm, over to you, sir.
Morning, Norm Boyer, Boys Home Maintenance and Repair. So before this last storm, things started to open up, and then all of a sudden the storm came. So people were busy digging out. And so, but this is the time of year where it takes a little bit longer to get stuff, right? Because the delivery truck doesn't come every week; it comes every second week. So I had a customer who's wants to sell his house, but he says, "Oh, I want it in 4 weeks." So people have unrealistic expectations on how soon we can do stuff. Well, the factories are not fully staffed yet. They're on winter staff. So if somebody's thinking of selling their house or doing something they want it done quick, now's the time to call so that we can get in there and get the information for them. And the biggest thing we're still going to be promoting is that high performance glass. People, the whole industry is promoting 35-year-old technology and saying, "Oh, look at this great stuff." I got an advertisement in the mail from a company, and they're saying low argon is really good. And it does this and does that. Well, it doesn't, right? But the government is promoting that technology because the government's way behind. So our 366 glass is as warm as 9 layers of glass, yet at very minimal cost compared to standard construction grade glass. And the honeydew list, I told my son he should put it on his truck. I have it on my van, and he said, "Oh, that doesn't sound very professional." Nobody grabs attention, right? So the honeydew list is the whole list of things that your partner has put together and that he would rather go golfing. So get a hold of Boyer Boys and you can go golfing and we'll do your honeydew list. So Boyer Boys, home maintenance repair, we fix your home.
Any BAMs or referrals this week, sir?
No,
The last week? Quiet week? Good. This Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. Hey, you know what, Terry? You could even come on across and go to 1745 Courtwood. Meet us at Hive. That's where we're doing our in-person Zoom meeting and inviting people to do in-person too, and Zoom meeting, I should say, at Hive. And Terry, over to you, sir. In downtown Ottawa. Yep.
Queensway. I get to see the traffic every morning,
Yeah, that's downtown.
and it's relatively easy going this morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Terry Fraser. I work with Sun Life. This will be my 19th year that I'll be with Sun Life, and that happens on October. Sam, welcome back. I haven't had a chance to chat with you, but I do need to chat with you. And Canada finished 8th, not 11th. They did finish 8th. And I believe that was because of the silver medal that we got in hockey. That kind of boosted us up. I do everything insurance and investments. And as everyone knows, RSP season is coming to an end. So if you haven't got your deposit done by now into your investment professional, i.e. the bank or people like myself that work for outside companies, then you need to do it before the end of the week. And it's just really nice to see everyone, and I'll just be here listening along.
Sure, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Tony, what about that horse that you're riding?
Yeah, this is the year of the fire horse. Somebody was nice enough to send me this, and I says, "Hey, you know what? I was thinking of something like that." So this is great. What this is this year, year of the fire horse is an energetic shift in our the way that we're going to be doing things. No more limits, and it's basically with your hair on fire. So I'm already ready. I'm built for speed. And that's what we need to look at. What usually slows us down is looking at the past. Well, this didn't work before, or if you're not really a fan of miracles and you don't think they exist anymore, that's a limitation. And there's so many things that'll happen this year, and it just needs your sort of undivided looking at life that anything is possible if we set our mind to it and we know it's going to happen. We don't need to know how right away, but visiting various people that can keep your energy high is very important. Okay, so I talked about that in the one of my classes a couple of weeks ago. It's actually still on YouTube, and it's still on our podcast channel. So give it a listen to and see how that affects you and your business. Okay, just some quick things. Wearing red today, of course, and there's 3 bracelets that would really help. Number 1 is fire agate. It is a red crystal that promotes that motivation, so you don't feel like you're don't have a purpose or anything. Carnelian is much the same thing. It gives you that sense that it really hits the not the solar plexus, but the sacral energy, where it's that fire within you that creates success. All right, success doesn't just happen. And then we have some for kids. This one's called Sunbeam, and for kids that are lethargic and they're introverts, they don't want to do a lot, not a lot of motivation. This will sort of sense that. They're still in the area that they're feeling energy from where they came from, and so the crystal will be really great. It just sort of ties onto their wrist. There's a nice tie to it, and it's wonderful for kids. All right. So Tony Jennett from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. Just a quick look-see. I did some business with Susan McGarry. Did some more stuff there with Josh. Thank you, Josh, for ongoing stuff there. And Bernie went to your East Trade Winds and had a BAM with you and stuff. Also did some business and had BAMs with Kat, Penny Lee, and Patricia. Did some business with her. And other than that, that's my week. Back to you, Bernie.
Oh, it's a nice slow week. That's awesome, Tony.
It's a slow week, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know who I am, and what I do is I connect people. It's kind of almost like a soft sales call, a soft intro from a marketing perspective. Knack for Business podcast is part of that evolution. And let's see, who have I had a chat with last week? Well, both Jacqueline and Tony were at the East Trade Winds, as was Carl. And then we have Carl did a referral. I did a referral to Tony. And then Kat might have something for me to do for a local service. I'm not sure how to kind of carry it off yet, but kind of a localized podcast in person. So got to work out the dynamics on that one. Just keep me maybe in or out of trouble, depending on how that all kind of pans. We're heading into a mastermind today. And so the topic, and I'm going to put in the chat kind of the parameters about it, so it's kind of easy to refer to. And it's about your best sales tools. What do you have? And not your fanciest, not your newest. And some of you already do that really well. Just it's a part of your normal day-to-day routine. The idea is to share amongst the folks here and go around robin. What is the tool that you most prefer to use to reach out to people, and practical tip on how to use it, how it directly boosts revenue or connections, and how someone in this room could leverage it too. So the fickle finger of fate is kind of staring, and you know what, Eric, do you have a favorite sales tool? Because I know how do you find customers, or do they just find you?
Well, we've been in practice for a few years, so we get referrals from other clients that meet people. I do public speaking, so I get referrals in public. When I do public speaking. When I first started, I would go to a room and I wanted to get everybody as my clients. But now I go to give a speech and I say, who am I disqualifying today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a mental change that happened about 10 years ago, where I know who's going to waste my time. I know who's wasting their time. I know all of that kind of stuff. So I concentrate on the 4 or 5 people out of 30 that are there that could be clients of an accounting practice, not necessarily mine, but could be clients of an accounting practice, and that saves a lot of work. I also treat people as if they were the only client we had. Like those of you who are my clients, when you come here, we're not boring you with other stuff that we're doing. You're just you. We treat you as if you were the only client that we have. And that's the way I was brought up, That's the way my parents brought us up, And when my parents had talented kids, so when they went to see me play football, soccer, they treated it as if it was the only event in the week. When they went to see my sister dance, they treated that as if it was the only event in the week. And I thought, in my eyes of a 12-year-old, I thought it was their only event in the week. you know. So I was brought up like that, by parents who practice that, and I never go after business hard. I never solicit people that I don't know. Maybe that will change, with a national practice. I don't know, but I don't do that, and I treat my staff with respect, and I treat my staff with any problems in the office are in the office. They don't go out to the workplace. They don't go out to the clients. They don't go out to my family. They stay in the workplace. So, it's not that difficult to do. But like anything, you want to talk about sports. Sports is not fun for a 12-year-old. If you are me, I had to spend days upon days kicking a ball against a wall, for 3-4 hours a day, kicking a ball against a wall, and I did that at 10, 11, and 12. But by the time I was 13, I could bend a ball around 3 people because I've done it for 3 years against a wall. So it's the unseen practice in the background that you have to concentrate on. We are not born to be Wayne Gretzky or Messi or anybody like that. Those things are done, by invisible hours for many, many hours until you go and play in a team. And the team is the last position you get, not the first.
Eric, whose wall was that you were practicing on?
The school wall.
Oh, okay. Not the house wall. I was going to say that would have been short-lived, my man.
Yes. Well, the house didn't have a big enough wall.
That too. Also, to aid in the bet in our chat, here's some other kind of key points. What tool gives you the highest ROI for lowest effort? What tool increases business, protects referrals from going cold? The usual things that just you can read through that. I'm going to swing over to Kara Lee. Kara Lee, your business is going to be different because you're not trying to sell a product. People are coming to you for the product because they're in need, but you're trying to sell the idea of giving. What tools? What do you find works for you that helps propagate that giving?
Great point there, Bernie. Exactly. We're in a different kind of a mindset here, being in the nonprofit and being a food bank. So for us, with the fact that we're independent, meaning we're not a part of any of the other organizations that are here in the city of Ottawa, we've really got to market ourselves. And it's fortunate that the history of the Canada Food Cupboard, we've been in our community for 40 years, going on our 41st year this year. So we're well known in the community. But it's still making sure that families that are new to our community know that our service is here, know how they can access our service, know a little bit about what happens when they call a food bank and how it all works, because it's all self-referral. No one needs to be referred to come to us. People can self-identify. We don't do any means testing. No one has to bring any financial documents about, how much money they make. If people want help, that's why we're here. We're here to help people once they self-identify. But I think for us, it's a big part of being in the right having the right connections. So for us, being a member of Feed Ontario, we're in their database. We're in Ottawa's 211 database, the Western Ottawa Community Resource Center, our community associations, our schools, our faith organizations, and just being a part of, all of the different community programs that exist. So it's a lot of self-referral, and just making sure that people know that we're here, how they can access us, and what happens once they utilize our services.
Perfect. I'm going to swing over to Josh and then Jacqueline. Josh, what sales to hold on, you got a whole cornucopia of sales tools that are available to you. What's your favorite?
My favorite sales tool, that's an interesting question. We have we use a tool called Suite CRM, and basically any company that has a sales funnel process should have some kind of CRM to manage their sales contacts. And we've really upped our sales game in the last year by using it. Basically, it's essentially a tool to track all your interactions with people before they become customers, and then after they become customers, tracking opportunities as you go. And so, yeah, we find that works well for us, and we've helped other companies set them up before. And then you can do integrations with them too. And so that obviously flows into our business model. And so you can get, a converted account that becomes a closed opportunity, can automatically send it into a billing system or QuickBooks or something like that too. And it just puts everything on rails, because those sales calls that you should be making on Monday afternoon, every single Monday, that you're not doing because everybody hates making those calls on Monday afternoon every single Monday, or they're too busy with all the other things that they need to know and remember to do. It basically makes it easier. So now you've got a canned email that shows up in your email inbox saying, hey, this is what you should send to this person today. Click a button to go and send it, instead of just having to kind of ad lib it. And then that again opens things up to that whole process of procrastination in your mind. And most of us as business owners, we procrastinate the sales things we have to do, the non-urgent, by finding other urgent things to do. But those non-urgent but still important things need to get done. And this is one tool that helps us do it.
Thank you, Josh. Jacqueline and then Norm. Go ahead, Jacqueline. Maybe I'll come. There we go. Okay. Go ahead, Jacqueline.
Phew, I'm back. For me, it's about the phone. And it's interesting that Josh talks about that 5 calls a day. So previous to Phoenix, it was from 8:30 until 11:30 that I would make 5 phone calls. And they were usually those people who had been referred to me or I had done mortgages with. And it's just a follow-up to see how they're doing. So I love putting that together. And I have an Excel spreadsheet once upon a time. That's what really worked. And then I now send out text messages. And because I have to ask for permission, I'm sending it to people who've given me permission to communicate with them that way. So text messages have been incredibly interesting. And yeah, using the phone. It's a lost art to have a phone call conversation with people. And then after I have that conversation, I get to send them a message I write a message to them. Thank you so much for the phone call. And I have my little notepad so that I can send that message to them. Another lost art is writing. And so that's a great tool for me. And so that really strengthens my sales cycle.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. Norm, over to you, and then Sam.
What I'm finding now is a lot of customers are connecting with texts, right? Or they'll give me a call, right? I give them some information, and what I do is I tell them, text me your information, like name, address, and so forth. And what that does, it gives me a permanent record. and also I can track it back, right? And then I can go and look on Google Maps and see a picture of their house. So it gives me an idea of what I'm going to be going into, right? Um, so that's the biggest one is the texting, right? Because also, if people have an accent or something, and besides with my hearing aids, the written thing makes it a lot easier for me to get the address down. It's a written address rather than a verbal address, which is I tried to find it, but I found that I had a couple of letters wrong, so I couldn't find the address. So that's why I started to tell people, text me your information and we'll go from there. All right.
Norm, thank
Still
you.
use email too, but the texting is a good way to communicate.
Awesome. Sam.
Thanks, Tony. My favorite way is certainly old-fashioned when it comes to business, and that's word of mouth. I get a lot of my business from customers that I have, and they refer me to people they know. I was just doing a little quick count, and I think everyone on this Zoom call today have been customers of mine except two. Um, Also, many of you have referred friends of yours to me and or spouses to me. So I like those because what tells it's feedback to me that you like my service and you're referring me to people that you know because you feel that I do a good service for the money. Also, I did a quick count when this topic came up, and because I play a lot of sports, I have a lot of customers from those sports. So there's a good reason why you need to get out of your house and maybe meet some people. uh, I uh, I mentioned there I did a brake job last week for a guy, and I play squash with him at the club. And he asked me to take a look at his car, and sure enough, he needed brakes, and he asked me to do them for him. So he's a new customer, actually, a guy I played squash with several times, but he's a new customer, and I know that his wife has a vehicle too, so hopefully he'll pass along recommendation to his wife when she needs work done on her vehicle. So that's my favorite way. I know it's old fashioned. It's not very techy, but I do like it because it kind of gives me feedback that the customers I have had and appreciate the service that I provide. That's it for me.
All right, Sam. Shane, are you available for a short chat to say, hey, what you use and capitalize on for reaching out to your clients? What tools, best sales tools you have?
Yes, so yeah, I've been in and out. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Things have been connected like that. Things that I use to bring in people. That's a really good question. Right now, we've been really working on our Google reviews. Last year, our goal was to get to 200 before the end of the year. We didn't get quite there, but we were at like 80, and we got to like 100 Google reviews in a year. So that was pretty good because we've always been told that's a good way to network with people. Because how many people, right? They look at you, they go to your website, and then they look at your Google reviews and stuff like that too. So it's usually a big deal to get those highlighted. And if you don't ask people, a lot of times they don't give you any Google reviews, which is very true, right? You got to ask people for them a lot of times if you think that they've had a good experience with you, and so on and so forth. And it is okay to have a couple bad Google reviews too if you just have to address them appropriately and go from there, because people usually acknowledge that you can't have straight perfection all the time. But yeah, so don't get all worried out if you have the person that says, oh, this wasn't there. You just address it and kind of go from there. You can actually learn a lot from them. Otherwise, we do unscheduled patients. So unscheduled patients that come in that we haven't seen in a while, we keep a tally every month. We email them back or just message them, just checking in, see how you guys are doing, and making sure that everything is good and they don't need us for anything else. Because we all know that habits do come into play, and that we do the same things over and over again. So we usually get injured the same way over and over again, or have problems certain ways, especially if you don't use an Apple computer, right, tech people? Anyways. All good. So yeah, we try to keep a tally on that. Being involved in the community is always a good thing overall. There's Facebook, the social media, and I think it depends on what you guys, the platform that it is for people coming through. Like if you're doing social media, especially for people, like I know some people that do concussion work with people that are like all over the country, and their social media is huge for people to see them and do that. So they'll go in and a lot of social media posts just about concussion and things like that and what they treat. So they do a great job of getting people long distance. If it's local, social media is there, but to me, it's a lot about just being involved and seeing your name going forward with a local spot, as well as what's your niche market, right? Getting into there, like if you're a hockey organization, that you're looking to get in with, you're talking about minor hockey. It's always good to have your kids in it or whatever, or just kind of showing up, being a trainer, even being a coach that's not affiliated with the players is great too. Because, those coaches that aren't with your son on there is a good thing to do. We did the local junior Bs, the junior As. I had some contacts. We got in with some of the trainers and coaches that are at that level. And that's where we got a lot of referrals that way. These networking groups are always good. And being involved just because people just know about you and they do tend to want to refer you and hear about what you can do. And if you have something to offer that they need, they often will think of you first. So that's mostly what we kind of do with that. So,
Shane?
Yeah.
Shane, thank you so much. Tony?
Well, one of the things that I, of course, inherently have is that the moment I meet somebody, I feel things. I've been doing that for a long time, way before I got into being an official medium and working with energy. I always had this feeling for things. When I had my moving business, moving in a couple into their new home, I just knew that within 18 months they were going to separate. I just thought it was lucky when I got a phone call, within 18 months to 2 years later that they're moving out separately. Or sometimes one would stay in the house and the other would be moved into an apartment. But the idea was that the people that I really care about and that are really, whether it's something ancestral, is that I feel like that I could bestow some insight if they're open for it. And I always tell people that don't listen to me. You have this ability as well. I'm just here to help you, guide you through it so you can work on that. And I think people really respect that. They don't think that it's something that is really out there. It's something that we all have. We just have to work on it. It's like a muscle. I mean, if you're going to kick a ball against a wall for a few years, you're going to get a certain adaptation of how to take that ball when it comes back. And anything is like that. If you work on it and you practice it, you just know what's going to happen. Because the pattern is the same in so many examples. So when people come to me, we look at so many ways for them to relax, calm down, and then as soon as they do, they can start connecting. And when they wake up at 3 a.m., and of course there's very little there, rather than calling me at 3 a.m., it would be nice if they had a tool so that they could connect themselves and find out, okay, what happened, why am I up, and just the various things that come up. And so the tool I gave is to give other people tools, other people ways, and they could run their own energy. And if you're in business, by applying those strategies to business, it tells you what markets to invest in, or it tells you where your business is going. And sometimes some of the most offhanded things that I've ever done was never something that looked good in the beginning. We're just like, we'll just try this. It ended up being a huge success. So what looks at people is that when they're in business, your personal life and your business are together. So when you're collected and calm and focused, and then your business has that same pattern as well. So those are the things that I use. And whenever after I do a tuning session or a reading or whatever, usually within a few days, I usually will send out an email. How are you doing today? Just to follow up, because it's so rare. I recently got with Rogers, and I had to make some changes. And as long as I was realizing that they were going to lose my business or go somewhere else, I had to wait an hour and 45 minutes to get anything done that I wanted to get done. And yet I figured, let's try the other way. I says, I want to buy something. I was online within 45 seconds with somebody that wants to sell me something. So that tells me that they're more focused on business than they are about satisfying customers. That's just one example. I'm not picking on one particular group, but that's the mentality of many companies, is that when you follow up that way, to me, it's a big deal. When someone takes care of me, then I will never go anywhere else. But it's hard to find somebody that will actually care for somebody other than sales. You know, there's more to somebody than what you can get from them. And I give all kinds of free stuff to people that I've dealt with, and so on. So I'm not nickel and diming anybody. It's just nice to be able to know that someone is taking care of your financials, your energy, your family, whatever, because they genuinely care. That's a great tool.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
Master Fraser,
Terry,
what artful Dodger stuff do you do?
after 19 years, you must have a plan.
I don't
Well-
have any plans, but I'm sure
Oh.
a few million things will pop up.
Well, phone is obviously the staple of our business. We have a tool called Salesforce that keeps track of all of our clients, and it can do reports on who we need to call when, birthday lists, when your term insurance is coming up, if your permanent insurance is out of whack, or if I put in a note saying that they got married and they're expecting to have a kid in the next 2 years, I'll get notification of that. So there's always notifications that are coming to me from Salesforce. One plan is another one that we do with our clients. So I take a bunch of information from the clients, put it into our program called One Plan, and it's really a tracker or a retirement planning portion of what we do. So if you're 45 and you say, okay, well, I've got this much money, I've got this assets, I got these loans, I got this, that, the other, we put all that information in and we track it over the next, I don't know, 15, 20 years. So that we have a plan getting up to when you're retiring. And once you pull the pin and say, hey, I want to retire, well, here's the plan that we've been talking about for the past 15, 20 years. And this is what we had discussed that we're going to do. So this is the steps that we're going to take. And here we go. So it's very helpful for my clients. And getting back to the first one, the phone, it's always the best option because you need to reach out. We do have touch points through email. We do now do texting through Salesforce. Because texting within Sun Life's parameters on your phone is so that's it.
Terry, thank you so much. And we're at 9:02, so I'll forego my portion. I'll close this out for the quote for the day. I would rather die of passion than of boredom, according to Vincent van Gogh.